And welcome into the rain-soaked Larry Miller Field on the campus of Brigham Young University, the side of the 2023 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament. I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us. We're late, but better late than never. Salem Hills and Timpanogos in a game that this should be an absolute blast. And to know that these two have to go through each other, well, it's going to go through them to get to the 5A State Championship. Just means we're going to have a lot of fun. We'll start first with the defensive lineup for the Timpanogos Timberwolves. On first base is Billy Bird. Second base is Tyler Hunter. Third base, Brighton Tate. Shortstop, Colin Morgan. And in the outfield, Jack Yakwachuk in left field. And center is Luke Livingston. And in right field is Landon Young. The pitcher tonight is Tate McGilvray. And the catcher is Caden Harding. In the lineup for the Salem Hills Skyhawks. And plus, we get two of the great coaches. Coach Kim Nelson, the legendary coach at Timpanogos, the only coach in the history of Timpanogos High School, has won multiple state championships, done an amazing job taking on Coach Haney and the Salem Hills Skyhawks. The lineup for Salem Hills is Cam Coburn, Nolan Miller, Charlie Cushing, Zach Nelson, Roper Kay, Kason Averett, Garrett Holt, Chase DeGraffenried, and Caden Hansen. Pitching tonight for Salem Hills is Caleb Holman. But both these teams come in after wins yesterday. Timpanogos got an impressive win over Orem, and Salem Hills held off a charge from Jordan in a game that was delayed by rain. So if it's just right now, if it's Salem Hills, it's got a rain delay in it. So we are set and ready to go. Cam Coburn going to lead things off for the Skyhawks. Plus, his brother was one of the fun players to watch in the state. In fact, this matchup, we'll get to it in just a little bit. There's a little bit of fun history to this one. But Coburn steps in. A .438 hitter swings at the first pitch, and it's strike one. Coburn is senior. It's at a .438 batting average, 28 RBIs, 11 doubles, a triple, 2 homers. As he fouls that one away and quickly falls behind in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Salem Hills comes in with an 18-9 record on the year. Timpanogos 23-5. And that breaking ball came late. Late break on it, but it misses. A ball and 2 strikes to Coburn. The 1-2. Nice job of staying alive by Cam. McGilvray able to get the K to open up the day for Timpanogos. So Coburn goes down on strikes. And now bring up the center fielder, Nolan Miller. Of course, Nolan Miller was the winning pitcher last night in the win over Jordan. Won a complete game, won 4-2. Season batting average of .410. With 8 doubles, 2 triples, and a homer. Also has driven in 20 runs on the season. Chopped at the plate, and the count quickly 0-2. And the 0-2 pitch swung on, strike 3, back-to-back Ks to start off the first inning. And it's 2 outs. And that brings up the third baseman, Charlie Cushing. And this ball hit well in the left field, but right at the left fielder. And it's a 1-2-3 inning as Jack Yakwachuk able to pull that one in for the third out. And Salem Hills goes down in order. We go to the bottom of the first, and our first chance to see the Timpanogos offense. You're watching the 2023 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament on KSLSports.com. And welcome back in. Dusty Litster with you. It was a chance to see Timpanogos. The defensive lineup for Salem Hills. First base is Zach Nelson. Second base, Kason Averett. Third base, Charlie Cushing. Shortstop is Cam Coburn. In the outfield is Caden Hansen in left, Noah Miller in center, and Garrett Holt in right field. And pitching tonight is Caleb Holman, and the catcher is Roper Kay. Gets Tate McGilvray, the starting pitcher for Timpanogos, swing through the first one. The 0-1 finds the inside corner for called strike 2. McGilvray fouls that one back to the screen. Tate's a .448 batting average on the year. 9 doubles, 5 triples, 2 home runs, and 30 runs driven in from the leadoff spot. That is production at the top of the order, to say the least. As McGilvray hangs on that breaking ball and fouls it off. And the count moves to 1 ball and 2 strikes. McGilvray is followed by Luke Livingston and then Brighton Tate. McGilvray chops that one foul down the third baseline. And a move, well, keeps the count on 1 ball and 2 strikes. And that breaking ball misses. And the count even at 2-2. Caleb Holman, 6-1 record on the season, 1.05 ERA. I mean, it made 8 appearances this year, had a decision in 7 of them. We had someone earlier today talking about they had 14 appearances and was like 3-1. It's crazy. McGilvray sits on that one, able to flip it into left field. And that's a leadoff single for Tate McGilvray. So Tate's going to get a courtesy runner. He has good speed, so they may not do it. So just get him a jacket. I don't know. Shohei Ohtani doesn't wear a jacket when he's pitching and hitting for the Angels. That'd be my argument. If Shohei doesn't do it, why am I doing it? Livingston shows bunt and takes a breaking ball for a called strike. Livingston, the .302 batting average. Came through with the hit last night. Was asked to bunt in 3 straight at bats. He shows here and pulls back on the breaking ball in the outer half, and it's ball 1. Of course, Timpanogos and football is part of the Rewind Sports Network, so we got to see Luke Livingston a lot this last football season, playing alongside outstanding safety and Tage Litster as a move over to first. Not his best move, but I will always say lefties balk on that move to first. About an 85% rate. And the 1-1. He pulled back to slash, and that pitch is inside. The count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. And we were delayed because of the lightning around the area. This game was slated to start at 4:30. It was going to start later because we had a rain delay in the second game of the day. As Livingston gets that one down, got great speed, and Luke able to leg it out. An infield single for Luke Livingston. Soft hands on the bunt. And that's a goal. If you can get that thing to die just around the circle, you got yourself a chance. And when you have the speed of Luke Livingston, you can get the infield single off the bunt. So advance the runner to second. Livingston is safe on first. I know someone in his heyday that could bunt that well. May or may not be on the broadcast. One thing I can do well, still. Corners up. Going to peel their show bunt here with Tate, or Brighton Tate, the third baseman. As Timpanogos looking to cash in here in the first inning. McGillivray with a leadoff single. Brian Tate had a good day from the plate yesterday. Slashes, and there was a play. That's a great job by McGillivray, because that could have gone short way to second. And he's out at third for the first out of the inning. Nice play by Cushing. So it'll be one out with runners at first and second. And that's going to bring up Billy Bird. Billy had himself quite the day yesterday. He was the winning pitcher in the 13-4 win over Orem. And from the plate, he was spectacular. 2 singles, a double, and 3 RBIs, and 3 runs scored. As he looks at ball 1. And Bird looks at strike 1. Nice breaking ball from Caleb Holman. Mentioned Holman doesn't give up a lot of runs. His ERA on the season is just over 1. 1.05 ERA. The 1-1 from Holman. Breaking pitch is upstairs. We've had a lot of hit batsmen. Not just the first 2 days of our bracket play here at BYU, but today alone, we're almost at double digits. Timpanogos wore a bunch yesterday in that game against Orem. And now the 2-1 pitch off the plate. Count goes to 3 balls and 1 strike. Not me. Three balls and 1 strike to Billy Bird. And the 3-1. That's well off the plate, ball 4, and the bases are loaded in the first inning. And that is going to bring up Caden Harding, the catcher for Coach Nelson. We had a great crew tonight. Go through our umpires real quick. This is a college-level umpiring crew tonight. Chad Veeder on first, Brandon Riley on third, and Ked Faber on the dish. So that brings up Caden Harding, the catcher. And man, been selected to play in the All-Star game at Lindquist Field. Looks at ball 1. Just a junior is Harding. That ball lifted, fouled on the first baseline, and does get out of play. So actually, we do have a change in our lineup for our umpires. Chad Veeder is on the plate, and Ken Faber on first base. You only get that information with Jeff Clough sitting next to you. 1 ball and 1 strike. And Harding chops this one to third base. Not going to have a play at home. And not going to be able to make the play at all. Mishandled by Cushing. And a run comes in. So Harding will reach on the error. And Luke Livingston will score. And it's 1-0 Timpanogos. And the pinch runner going to come in a courtesy here for Timpanogos is Dylan McWhorter.
Dylan McWhorter, the courtesy runner at first. Now batting the designated hitter, Tanner Morgan.
And this ball hit well to right center field. Going back. It's just off the at the warning track, off the wall. It's going to clear the bases. It's a 3 RBI triple for Tanner Morgan. That's one way to start the first inning for Tanner Morgan, who swung the bat well yesterday. Squared that one up, bounced it off the wall, and it's to add a little sauce to it, a stand-up 3 RBI triple. And that brings up Landon Young, the right fielder. And Landon takes that one off the ankle. And it'll be runners on the corners. We're going to give him some time to walk that one off. So Young's aboard on terrific first inning here for Coach Kim Nelson's Timpanogos Timberwolves.
Now batting number 9, Colin Morgan.
And Colin Morgan comes to the plate, the shortstop. That pitch is inside, ball 1.
Get out of the way.
I'll tell you, you heard that. That wasn't a serious. I was just trying to mess with some kids. That wasn't a serious get out of the way. Unless they don't know that he's not, that he is serious. Well, Jeff gives me a hard time. It's only fun when I get a chance to tease him a little bit. So runner on third, 1 out. This ball flipped into right field, tailing toward the line, and able to track it down is the right fielder, Garrett Holt, but it's going to score the run. So coming in to score is Tanner Morgan, who turns that stand-up RBI, 3 RBI triple essentially into a grand slam, as all 4 runs will come in from his at-bat. And a nice job of doing his job, Colin Morgan, with the sac fly. And it is 5-0. And Yakwachuk swings through the first pitch. And that one finds his own 1 ball, 1 strike here to Yakwachuk. And the 1-1. And that one chopped at the plate. Jacks played good outfield yesterday. Let it come through and bridge to the top of the order and bring McGillivray back up. And he's swings through that one, strike 3. But how about the bottom of the first inning for the number 2 seed at Timpanogos Timberwolves? They plate 5 off the power of a 3-run base-clearing stand-up triple from Tanner Morgan. And going into the top of the second inning, it's Timpanogos 5, Salem Hills 0. You're watching the 2023 5A State Baseball Tournament on KSLSports.com, your online home for state championships in the state of Utah.
Okay. Okay.
Yun ang malawagan siya after sa tapos sito talabi alawa kumito dala.
And welcome back in the top of the second inning. As Nelson fouled that one off for the first strike, and that one's in there for a called strike 2. And that one just missed. Up 0-2, you always have the pitch to burn. Zach Nelson, a .379 hitter. Able to fight that one off. And he'll keep us here at 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 again. McGilvray swung strike 3, but a drop third strike, and Nelson's going to reach on the air, or probably on the pass ball, rather. And so Nelson aboard. See if they can make that one hurt. And that brings up the catcher, Roper K. Roper K. I wrote it wrong on my lineup. I put K. Roper. Roper K, the catcher. As that one fouled off. As that one, McGilvray trying to hold the runner at first base, and Zach Nelson. Roper, a .378 hitter on the season, looks at ball 1. Count even at a ball and a strike. And the 1-1 from McGilvray. In there, called strike 2. Borderline pitch, so it's being ball strike. The 1-2. That's in there, called strike 3. So back-to-back Ks, but he had the drop third strike, putting Nelson on first. And coming to the plate now is the second baseman, Kason Averett. And that bender in there for a called strike. That was a beautiful pitch there from McGilvray. So McGilvray set. Fires the 0-1, chopped to first. Going to make the play to second. Did get it there in time. And McGilvray on the cover. Able to eat that one up on the turn. Tell you what, it's a terrific throw from the first baseman, Billy Bird. Well, no doubt, young man pitched a great game last night, but that was an absolute seed to second base. So Averett will reach on the fielder's choice. That one's up. Set the plate, Garrett Holt. With a runner on first and 2 outs. And that one up and in. As McGilroy wants a new baseball. I don't know how much they get scuffed up here. It could be a lot of the water. They claim that the field turf drains a lot. I'm interested to talk to Coach Haney or Coach Nelson afterward and find out how true that is, because we had a ton of rain that hit. They held this game up. We had lightning, but there was a bunch of rain that hit all at once. As McGilroy finds his own there, and it's Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and a runner on first here for Garrett Holt. Trying to extend the inning. Runner goes. Ball 3. Throw down the second. The line, offline a little bit on the short hop. Could not get it there. A decent attempt from Colin Morgan to scoop it on the throw from Harding. But the runner is safe at second. And the count is now full. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. The payoff pitch fouled off, and we'll do it again. And again, the 3-2. Lifted down the right field line is going to get out of play. So part 3 coming up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Reminder, we still have our nightcap game, and it might truly be in the nightcap hour. This game is set to start at 7 p.m. with all the lightning delays. We'll see when we get started, but Lehigh and Woods Cross will end day 2 of bracket play in the 5A tournament. And that little breaking piece missed. Yeah, that missed inside. And Garrett Holt earned that walk. That was a very good at bat, not giving in and chasing something. Able to fight things off. And that's going to bring up Chase DeGraffenried, the designated hitter. And DeGraffenried swings through that first pitch. DeGraffenried had an RBI single last night in the win over Jordan. That pitch is wide of the plate. And the 1-1 chop to the right side. Nice job of, whoa, missed out just a minute there by Billy Bird. Over to McGilroy for the final out of the inning. Salem Hill's got a couple guys on, but couldn't make it hurt as the 3-1 put out ends the inning. We go to the bottom of the second inning. Timpanogos come to play. T-Wolves lead 5-0. You're watching the 5A state tournament. And welcome back into Larry Miller Field. Dusty Litster with you. 5-0 Timpanogos. And you're right, this is the 4:30 game that's only in the bottom of the second inning at 6:50 p.m. with lightning delays and some rain and back-to-back games. And we had an extra inning in the 1:30 game as we went 8 in that one. Let's push us back a little bit. But now it's just about getting back on track here. The 0-1, that's in there for called strike 2. New pitcher for Salem Hills is Corbin Goal. As they ran, Caleb Holman, as mentioned, he had an amazing year coming into this this night. Just what was reported anyway, it was a 1.05 ERA. And the 1-2 swung on strike 3 as McGilroy goes down on strikes. And they're 1 away for Timpanogos. Luke Livingston looks at strike 1. And the 0-1 to Livingston is wide of the plate. Evens the count of the ball and a strike. Luke reached on an infield single on a bunt and scored last inning. Looking to back it up as that breaking ball misses. So the count goes to 2 balls and a strike to Livingston. And that ball lifted into right center field, still carrying. And that ball's going to get all the way to the wall. Livingston's going to round second, heading for third. There will not be a play at third, and it's a stand-up triple for Luke Livingston. One of the better athletes in the state of Utah, if you're not aware of him. Talking about his football stats, this a kid as a sophomore led the state in receiving yards and touchdowns. Followed up last year, had to play a lot of the season at quarterback. He played everywhere on the field for Timpanogos. I mean, he threw for 791 yards last year. He rushed for 521 yards and had 986 yards receiving. This is after his sophomore year. He had 1,560 yards receiving and 23 touchdowns. In fact, he still had 13 receiving touchdowns on the season. Oh, nice job of playing that on the backhand. That ball was hit well by Brighton Tate, but eaten up at short by Cam Coburn for the second out of the inning.
Number 3, Billy Bird.
That brings up Billy Bird. Billy was an RBI machine last night, looking to pick another one up here. Little breaking piece lifted into center field, not carrying. And the ball will settle into the glove of Nolan Miller. Luke Livingston gave it a little bit of hope to add to it, but a nice job at cleaning up the mess there by Corbin Goal. We go to the top of the third inning. It's 5-0 Timpanogos. You're watching the 2023 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament. And welcome back in to Larry Miller Field as Salem Hills coming to the plate at the top of the third inning and showing bunt pulling it back is Caden Hansen, the 9-hitter. So 9-1-2 due up here for Salem Hills. And he chases the high cheese there. Evens the count of the ball and a strike. And that one chopped at the, comes off of Harding and can give Caden a couple of minutes to walk this one off. She shared last time, there's a special bond between umpires and catchers. They know, an umpire knows every catcher's name. And take care of him. You take the ball off the arm like Caden did there. He's like, hey, I got you. Walk out, talk him off. You get a foul ball that goes off the umpire's face. The catcher's going to say, hey, give me a second. He'll walk out and go talk to his pitcher and give the umpire a chance to clear the cobwebs. I mean, that's just one of the fun things you get a little inside baseball on. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. McGillivray, Bender in there, called strike 3. That was nasty. That was a pretty pitch from McGillivray. And that was a late break. Everything that you want. So 1 away as we go to the top of the order. Oh, that's that's a back you up ball there, 75 mile an hour. The 1-0 foul to the screen, evened up. That's a test your valor pitch right there. It's one where in the ribs. Can't take it in the tuchus. You're going to take that one in the rib cage. That's not as fun. The 1-1, fouled out of play. The count moves to a ball and 2 strikes. And the 1-2 went to the wrong box. So we'll even the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just mentioned Coburn. His brother played at CSI. One of the better players in the state of Utah in that 2020 class. That last chance tournament, he was a walking triple and double. And as Coburn sends that one into center field, and that is a 1-out single for Salem Hills. Nice piece of hitting there from Cam Coburn. And that's going to bring up Nolan Miller. So Miller can do here his job, move the runner. 1 out, 1 on. And Miller back up the middle, gets through. Not going to be able to go from first to third with Coburn. That ball had some hair on it getting through the infield. And it's back-to-back singles. The Salem Hills lineup's too good to go quiet. They're not going to go quietly. It's going to be quite the deficit, down 5 runs. But they have the batting power. They have the hitting power to bounce back in this ball game. And that pitch is off the plate. That brings up Cushing. And this is a guy to get things done. 2 homers on the year, 7 doubles, 29 RBIs on the season. Looks at that one for strike 1. The count even at a ball and a strike to Charlie Cushing. His brother Stone was a very good player at Salem Hills and playing college baseball right now. At Salem Hills has been a very good baseball program. Coach Haney, I believe he's the only coach in school history. Went over from Payson. Of course, Coach Haney's son is the coach at, I still call CEU, but the college in Price, Utah that was formerly known as CEU. We don't say the new name. But has done a very good job of trying to reclaim that program and bring it back. A once very proud junior college program as that ball's bounced. And 2 balls and 2 strikes. You think back to years of Eric Madsen, who's going to see next. He's an assistant coach at Lehigh and was the manager at UVU for over 20 years. He built an outstanding program at Price. But Coach Haney trying to bring it back. So now 2 balls and 2 strikes to Cushing. Check swing. Yes, he did. We learned the rule. If you were around at the beginning of that lightning delayed 1:30 game, in high school baseball, the check swing is about intent. It's the umpire's and discretion of your intent on the pitch. So take that for what it is. Runners on first and second. Bouncer to third. Taking on the run, throw to first on time. Back-to-back singles. Handled very well there by McGill-Ray. Got a strikeout, comes back with the ground ball. And Timpanogos gets out of the inning unscathed. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning in a 5-run lead for Timpanogos. You're watching a 5A state championship. So Caden Harding will lead things off here in the bottom of the 3rd. Harding reached on an error, hits this one well to left field, tailing toward the line, and getting over and making the play is Caden Hansen. That's where you'd rather have the dying quail than have some a little bit more on oomph on it. That ball just didn't have enough topspin to get to the ground. So Harding retired for the first out of the inning. He'd rather the Texas Leaguer. As Tanner Morgan comes to the plate, and Morgan had the big hit of the first inning. He had the base-clearing stand-up triple, the 3 RBI triple. And the 1-0 pitch Little bender hit well to left center field. I don't think he's going to catch up to this one. Yes, he will. Man, that ball died. That came off his bat. I thought for sure that'd be hitting the gap. But it does not. Just allowed out. So Morgan retired. It brings up Landon Young. And that one off the plate. And that ball up and around the ear hole of the helmet. And the 2-0 pitch wide of the plate. So it'll be 3 balls and no strikes. Woods Cross showing up in some alternate uniforms. I've never seen their blacks. I didn't think they'd go with baby blue. I would have swore that was Salem Hills walking in the building at the moment. But 3-1. That pitch wide of the plate is going to put Landon Young on the bases. So a 2-out walk, bringing up Colin Morgan, the shortstop. And again, if you're a Woods Cross fan, checking in to see if Woods Cross playing. Well, guys, I don't know when your game's going to start. We're way behind after that rain delay. It was set to start at 7 o'clock. And here we are. You are looking at it correctly as we're in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And the game was slated to start at 4:30. But Salem Hills and Lehigh will come up next. It'll be the final game of the day as Colin Morgan looks at ball 1. Corbin Gold came in relief in the 2nd inning after Caleb Holman gave up 5 runs in the 1st. The 1-0 in there for a called strike. Morgan drove in a run in the 1st inning with a sacrifice fly. Brought in Tanner Morgan after his stand-up triple. Breaking ball in there for a called strike. Throw down to second in time. Caught Landon Young. Beautiful throw by Roper K. Guns him down. The 2-4 put out to end the inning. As we go to the top of the 4th, it is Timpanogos 5, Salem Hills 0. You're watching the 2023 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament. And welcome back into Larry Miller Field. Dusty Lister with you. Again, reminder, we have the Woods Cross Lehigh game to come up next. We'll be back here tomorrow starting at 11 o'clock. As we'll have Jordan taking on the loser of this game at 11 o'clock. As our day isn't fully set, the 1:30 game has Viewmont. As that one in there for a called strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Roper K, the catcher. Of course, K just ended that top half of the, or probably the end of the 3rd with the gun down at second base. And they count now 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 in there for called strike 2. How about McGillivray goosed that one up a little bit, 89 miles an hour. And the 2-2 breaking ball swung on and missed for strike 3, and Roper K retired for the first out of the inning. And for McGillivray, that is his 6th strikeout thus far through 3 innings and a 3rd. Brings up Kason Averett. We were just seeing Averett that's not in Springville, by the way. When you have a road in Springville named Averett Lane, you expect all Averetts in Utah County to be in Springville, not to go further south to Salem Hills. So I wonder if they're just the black sheep members of the family. As the count even at a ball and a strike. And the 1-1 misses wide of the plate. Yeah, I think it's the fastest ball he's thrown this far. That was a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. And the 2-1. Little bender in there for called strike 2. And Everett chops that one to the third base side. Taken, thrown in time. Nicely done from third base. The cut in front there was Brighton Tate. For just a second, thought might let Colin Morgan take that one. And nice job of Tate taking control, step in front, get that ball, make a strong throw to first for the second out of the inning. And that brings up Garrett Holt, the right fielder. And Holt offers it the first pitch and skies that thing to left field. And settling underneath it and taking in the can of corn for Jack Yakwachuk. And that will do it for the top of the fourth inning. Go down in order as we head to the bottom of the fourth. Timpanogos looking to expand on their lead, 5-0. You're watching the 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament. And welcome back in. Is leading off the inning for Timpanogos is Colin Morgan. Remember, Morgan was at bat when Kay gunned down the base runner. The attempted steal. That ball lifted down the right field line, and it is in there. It is a fair ball. And he'll hold up at second base, and that's a leadoff double. So Colin Morgan will turn around and say thank you after being able to get a new at bat when Lanny Young was caught stealing. And leads off the inning with a double, and it brings up Jax Yakwachuk, the left fielder. So runner in scoring position already, as it's 8-9-1 in the batting order coming in due up for Timpanogos. So Yakwachuk 0 for 1 on the day. Has a chance to drive in a run as the bunt attempt fouled off.
And the Coke. Monster, water, and the Coke.
Elena hasn't learned yet. When she's close to 40, that's what happens. You do that and you get high blood pressure. Then you're going to be unable to eat or drink anything. As that pitch in there, or probably off the mark for a ball, 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Here to Yakwachuk. Top of the order coming up next. McGilvray. As that pitch is off the mark. Ball 2. Hope you're enjoying your day wherever you are. It's been a long day with rain. I know there's a house full, well, at least 4 kids. Reagan, McKinley, and Staley and Detmer eating dinner and watching the game. But wherever you are, hope you're enjoying the broadcast and being nice to your parents. As Yakwachuk looks at ball 3. On the year, Yakwachuk has driven in 12 runs, has 2 doubles, 3 triples, and a homer on the year. The 3-1 pitch is off the plate, ball 4. So we're going to flirt with some disaster here is goal. As the first 2 get on, if we go to the top of the order. So runners on first and second. And that brings up Tate McGilvray. McGilvray 1 for 2 on the day, singled to lead off the game. Went down on strikes his last at bat. And he is the current pitcher for Timpanogos. Nice bender there from goal. No, Coach Haney's going to preach. Hey, you got to keep putting up zeros and give your offense a chance. This is a hairy situation. Don't see any action down the bullpen. Do have someone down there, but not throwing right now. And the 0-1. Hit well into right center field. And it's going to get down. Going to bring in one run. McGillivray rounds first. Will stand up at second. And it's an RBI double for Tate McGillivray. Morgan's leadoff double leads to a run. And there's now runners on second and third with Luke Livingston coming to the plate. So Coach Haney going back to his bullpen and going to bring in Boston Gardner to see if he can stop the bleeding. Because remember, we are in the bottom of the fourth inning. So if Timpanogos puts up 4 more runs, go up 10-0, and they get the put up a goose egg in the 10th, will be a 10-run rule. So that brings up Luke Livingston, who tripled his last at bat. Luke is 2 for 2 on the day with a run scored. There's a infield single on a bunt with a beautiful bunt, and then drove the ball to the wall in his last at bat. And now the 0-1 from Gardner. And that one's off the mark. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners on second and third, and no outs. Gardner's breaking ball. Just a touch inside and a little high. 64 mile an hour. This is a 64 mile an hour breaking ball from a big guy. Love this count. 2-1. Misses wide. And the count goes 3 balls and a strike to Luke Livingston. I mean, this is the danger part. You don't want to be offering up stuff down the middle of the heart of the plate, but if you give more base runners, you're flirting disaster with good sticks behind Luke Livingston, including Tanner Morgan, who's seen the ball really, really well here at Larry Miller Field. Livingston lifts this one in the right field. Might be deep enough to score the run, and will be the tag there. And it is a sacrifice fly and an RBI for Luke Livingston. And extends the lead to 7-0 for Timpanogos. And that brings up Brighton Tate with a runner on third, as it also advanced Tate McGillivray from second to third. So 1 away for Timpanogos. And Tate goes back through the box. Played another on. It's 8-0 Timpanogos, as Brighton Tate with an RBI single. And the hit parade continues. And it brings up Billy Bird. 0 for 1 on the day. Reached and scored on a walk back in the first. And Bird swings through that one. The 0-1. Bird flips that one foul down the first base line. Quite the pleasant evening after the rain showers we've had. Hopefully it's going to stay away. The 0-2 pitch hit well by Bird into right field. Not going to carry. It's going to be shy of the warning track, as Garrett Holt tracks it down for the second out of the inning. As Old Faithful, or Old Glory, I should say, Old Glory is still in right center field. Not even moving. And that brings up Caden Harding, the catcher. 2 away and a runner on first, as Gardner knocks that one, or shorted that one. Knocked down by Roper K. And the 1-0 chop to the left side. Cushing with it. And a long throw to first in time. Yes, just wanted to make sure in his head. So that will do it for the fourth inning. But 3 more runs for Timpanogos. Timberwolves lead 8-0. We go to the top of the fifth inning. You're watching the 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament. So welcome back in. As that one doesn't find the zone. 2 balls and no strikes. And now chopped at the plate here for Chase DeGraffenried. But it's been a crazy day today around the Wasatch Front. Lightning and rain. I know there was a swim practice that was canceled earlier today in Draper, and we've had games delayed. But calm evening at the moment. I hope we'll get everything in as DeGraffenried checks swing. Strike 3. The throw down to first is in time on the drop third strike. And 1 away as DeGraffenried retired. So make that the 7th strikeout of the day for Tate McGilvray. That brings up the 9-hole hitter, Caden Hansen, the left fielder. As goes down in the count on that foul ball. And the 0-1 is missed the zone, so 1 ball and 1 strike. And now the 1-1. Well, kind of caught him off guard, a little half-hearted swing there. You see how frustrated Caden was. I don't know who he was looking back at, unless he was just kind of looking for look's sake. The 1-2, a nice job, fights that ball the other way, punches it through the hole between first and second base, and that is a 1-out single for Caden Hansen. And that'll send us to the top of the order for Salem Hills.
Number 2, Cam Coburn.
And Cam Coburn. As Cam looks at ball 1. Whoa, hitch back up the middle, and that gets through the infield. Going to hold up at second base. And that is back-to-back singles. Hansen and Coburn. So the runners have first and second, and 1 out. And that will bring up the center fielder, Nolan Miller.
The center fielder, number 21, Nolan Miller.
Miller looks at strike 1. The 0-1, foul back, and the count quickly, no balls and 2 strikes to Nolan Miller. And the 0-2 misses up, so ball and 2 strikes. Nolan's 1 for 2 today, singled in the third, went down on strikes in the first at bat. We can play to run with a base hit here. 1 out. Runner's going to need to freeze on a line drive. Got to see the ball through the infield. Now get doubled up on a rocket. As that breaking pitch misses, McGilvray wanted that one. The umpire wasn't budging. And now the 2-2. Hit sharply back up the middle, and that will bring Caden Hansen around third. And the backdoor to second won't get Coburn, but a run comes in on the RBI single from Nolan Miller. And Nolan Miller hit nearly the exact same hit. It was almost the exact same thing that Cam Coburn did. That was a heads-up play by Billy Bird to try to backdoor Coburn is second, but to no avail. That brings up Charlie Cushing. And that's in there for a called strike. Charlie's 0 for 2 today. Went down on strikes in his last at bat and flew out to left field in the first inning. And the 0-1 chopped at the plate. Moves the count to no balls and 2 strikes. And the 0-2 again fouled off at the plate. Keep the count, no balls and 2 strikes. And that one's foul. That one is in there. 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the Suns now have a little bit of the shadows we would have been dealing with for the last bit. As they're long shadows at the moment. There's a called strike 3 on Cushing. But you can see the canopy puts that shadow throughout the infield. And get outside, you'll see that our screen will get a little brighter. That's just because we're shooting from shadow to light. We'll try to deal with that as we get through the rest of this game. But there's 2 out, and runners on first and second as Zach Nelson swings at the first pitch. And falls by the count 0-1. This one hit well by Nelson's going to get down. Going to hold the runner at second base as Coburn could not get there. As Nelson adds to another very good inning here for Salem Hills with a chance to punch through some runs. Will bring up Roper K. With 2 outs and bases loaded. So chance really to make something happen here for the Skyhawks. They've just had to deal with the blitzkrieg of offense from Timpanogos. And that one misses. That one's up and in. 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Still throwing some gas into the 5th inning. The 2-1. That one lifted out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, and bases loaded. Breaking ball misses. McGilvray wanted a new ball. As soon as he threw that ball, that last pitch, he wanted a new ball. So he gets it. So here we go. Runners will be in motion. Full count, bases loaded, and 2 outs. Runners go, and he misses up and in. So walks in a run, and it's 8-2. See if Coach Nelson comes out for a conversation. And it looks like he's going to. So Lake Converse reminds you that we want to thank Modern Missionary for being a sponsor of KSL Sports Rewind. And if you got a missionary getting ready to go out to the field and you got to get them all outfitted, it costs a lot of money. And what you want to be able to do is just try things out. And you got to do that with cars. You do it with lots of stuff. You got to walk through a home before you buy it. If you go to Modern Missionary and you register your missionary, go to modernmissionary.com, register them, or you go into one of their locations to get down information, all that stuff, get sizing. You can get a free shirt and tie so you can try it before you buy it at Modern Missionary. Going to go to Modern Missionary, find their locations, Provo, Draper, and other places as well. But that's Modern Missionary. I want to thank them for supporting KSL Sports Rewind. So coming to the plate now is Kason Averett. Fastball back to McGilvray, and Tate able to handle it over to first and gets out of the jam. He does give up 2 runs in the inning as we go to the bottom of the 5th. And welcome back. Dusty Litster with you as Tanner Morgan going to lead things off. And Morgan turns on that one, and it's going to be fouled down the left field line. And just a skosh inside on that one. Morgan's had a very good day. We're talking about the stand-up 3 RBI triple in the first. Gave it a ride his next at bat to dead center. And this one he got underneath as well. So lifts this one in the center field, and it's going to be handled cleanly there by Nolan Miller for the first out of the inning. And that will bring up Landon Young. And Landon on the day is not recorded an official at bat. Was hit by a pitch in the first and walked back in the third. Wow. That was framing a work of art hanging in Marriott. I mean, made it look like a Picasso. Whoa, that nearly caught the elbow, but did not. So a ball and a strike. A 1-1 rope to third, and Cushing is there to take it, and it's 2 away. So that brings up Colin Morgan. We're 2 outs and nobody on. Morgan doubled his last time up. Doubled and scored. And this time flips this one in the center field. That's a 2-out single, extending the inning for the T-Wolves. And that'll bring up Jax Yakwachuk. So Yakachuk with the runner on first base and 2 outs. Going to bridge to the top of the order. Tate McGilvray on deck, followed by Luke Livingston. And if he can get on base. And the 0-1. Check swing. No, he did not. read his intentions purely and said he didn't mean to. And the 1-1. Yakuchuk getting started a little early on that one. Fouls it back to the screen. Mention going back to the 2020 time we don't like to talk about, but they had the last chance tournament. This was a championship game of the 5A bracket. Timpanogos came back to beat Salem Hills, who was undefeated in that tournament. And there's a strike 3. So Yakuchuk goes down swinging. As we go to the top of the 6th inning, it is Timpanogos 8 and Salem Hills 2. You're watching KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of 5A baseball. And welcome back to top of the 6th inning. Dusty Lister with you as Garrett Holt steps in, looks at ball 1 from Tate McGilvray, who's at 89 pitches. And now in 90. And the count even at a ball and a strike. The 1-1 wide of the plate. And the count moves to 2 balls and a strike. Got a little weather south of us. I think we should be okay. McGilvray again misses wide. And the count goes to 3 balls and a strike. The 3-1. Flared into right field. Oh, nice job of coming in and making the play. Making the diving catch is Landon Young for a highlight reel, first out of the inning. Great read by Landon Young and able to come in and get that ball. And we have a pinch hitter. That is Trace Smith coming to the plate in favor of Chase DeGraffenried.
Now batting for Salem Hills, number 14, Trace Smith.
That's strike 1 on Smith. And the 0-1 from McGilvray. Ooh. That back you up fastball. He gets the count of the ball and a strike. The 1-1 in there for called strike 2. And the breaking piece swung on and missed. Strike 3 for the second out of the inning. And that's going to bring up Caden Hansen. As Caden looks at ball 1. Caden we're probably 1 for 2 today. Singled and scored last inning. Went down on strikes in his first at bat. Looks at ball 2 off the plate. The 3-0 goes back to the screen. So a 4-pitch walk will bridge to the top of the order, and Cam Coburn. So this is where McGilvray's got to focus back up.
Now batting the shortstop, Cam Coburn.
As that pitch is wide the plate. Coburn looking to come through like Mickey Moniak just did for the Angels. That pitch inside. Ball 2. Two balls and no strikes, 2 outs and a runner on first base for Coburn. As he lifts this one into right field, not going to carry. Landon Young is there for the 3rd out of the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 6th, and it is Timpanogos 8, Salem Hills 2. You're watching the 5A state baseball tournament on K. So Aiden Haskell coming on to throw here in the 6th inning. That's strike one. Taking on Tate McGillivray. And the 0-1 to Tate. Breaking pitch, strike two. And here's the thing, you'd say, well, almost hit him. Well, look, McGillivray's taking away the inner part of the plate. And the 0-2. And he does a nice job. Stays inside that pitch, flips it in the center field. That's a leadoff single for the starting pitcher, Tate McGillivray, who's also enjoyed a terrific day from the plate. He is 3 for 4 with an RBI on the evening, what was supposed to be the afternoon game. So that brings up Luke Livingston. So Dagan Gamble, the courtesy runner for Tate McGillivray. And Livingston looks at ball one. The 1-0 from Haskell, and that's fouled out of play. But a good day for Luke. Singled and scored in the first on the bunt, an infield single. He tripled back in the second and had a sacrifice fly and an RBI back in the fourth. Looking to move the runner here. 4 runs in the inning would end the game, but really for Timpanogos, no matter what, they'll get up in this seven. After this inning is happening, left in this game, and a chance for Salem Hills have last up time coming up. As Livingston, just like McGillivray, stays inside that pitch, flips it into center field. The throw to third may have been in time, but Cushing couldn't hold his water on letting the ball get to him there. And that's an error, and it gives Livingston second on the throw. So it's a single for Livingston. And then gets second on the throw. And E5 not making the catch on that throw. That was a seed from Garrett Holt. That was actually a very good throw from Garrett Holt. There comes Brighton Tate. Brighton Tate under RBI single last inning. Big swing there. That was a woo swing. Again, no wind to speak of. The flag out in center field, just barely moving. A pitch off the mark, pass ball, and that is going to bring home Dagan Gamble. And Gamble comes across, and it is 9-2 Timpanogos. As Livingston takes third on the pass ball. The 1-1 to Tate, wide of the plate, ball two. The 2-1 off the plate. Remember, we got one more game coming up today. Woods Cross taking on the bleached-haired crew, Lehigh, in the final game. And the reigning champion, I should add that one too. That ball flipped into right field. Does carry, doesn't go toward the line. So the catch is made in right field by Garrett Holt, but it's going to bring in Luke Livingston for the sacrifice fly. So it makes it 10-2, Timpanogos. And that brings up Billy Bird with 2 outs and nobody on. Yeah, 2 outs and 1 out, nobody on. Talk through that real quick. As Bird hit this one well, that was a late read out in center field by Nolan Miller. I think for a second Nolan thought it was the third out of the inning, just like I had messed up. So back-to-back fly balls. Two away. Brings up Caden Harding. And that one's fouled out of play. Harding looks at the ball. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Caden Harding. Hard to think for me that Caden's a junior. Remember, Caden's just a little guy out in Vineyard. As that ball lifted into center field, and that will be the final out of the inning. So 2 runs come across for Timpanogos as we go to the top of the 7th inning. Last chance opportunity here for Salem Hills, trailing 10-2. You're watching the 2023 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament. So Owen Miller starting things off here. As Nolan looks at ball 1. On the day, Nolan Miller is 2 for 3. Make that 3 for 4 for Nolan Miller. Pitched a great game last night. Hit the ball very well today. So Miller is aboard, and that's going to bring up the third baseman, Charlie Cushing. And for Charlie, yet to reach, gone down on strikes twice, and flew out to left. McGilvray was at 105 pitches coming into the inning. Remember, he can pitch up to 110. If he hits 110 within the at-bat, then he can complete that at-bat. So if he ends this at-bat with Cushing at 109, then he can pitch to Zach Nelson, and that will be the last batter he will face. The 1-1 wide of the plate. I want to say this is I think this is pitch 108. And that one is down 89 mile-an-hour fastball. So likely this will be the final batter for Tate McGilvray. Tate's pitch in there for a called strike. So count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. To 89 mile-an-hour fastball. Imagine he wants to rear back and let one rip again here. The 3-2 fastball swung on and missed for strike 3. And that will be the day for Tate McGilvray. Been an outstanding outing for Tate. Gets a big hug from Harding. Nice pat from Coach Nelson. And that will be the day. He goes 6 1/3 and is responsible for the runner on first base. So we'll have a new pitcher when we come back. You're watching the 2023 5A State Baseball Tournament. And welcome back. The new pitcher is Brighton Tate. Saw Tate McGilvray come in and throw yesterday. A couple pitches. Get him ready for tonight. What if we see Brighton Tate tomorrow? Strike 1 to Zach Nelson. 1 out, a runner on first base. that Tate McGilvray is still responsible for. So the book's still open on Tate. And that pitch is off of the plate for Brighton Tate. 1 ball, 1 strike. The 1-1 hit well by Nelson. You saw the little stutter. It's hard to see the ball in left field. It just appears here at night at Larry Miller Field. We've seen multiple left fielders kind of take a second look at it. So second out. That brings up Roper K. And Roper fouls that one to the screen. Final out here for Salem Hills. And that one misses inside. Oh, nice job there by Brighton. And get up and snag that ball. And the 1-1 in there for strike 2. Down to the final strike. And the 1-2. Ground ball to short. They'll take it the short way, and that'll do it. An impressive performance from the Timpanogos Timberwolves. They advance in the winner's bracket with an emphatic 10-2 win over the Salem Hills Skyhawks. Salem Hills will come back tomorrow at 11 o'clock to play Jordan. Once again, the winner will move on from there, but 11 o'clock we'll be seeing Salem Hills and Jordan in the one-loss game. Our Heidemann and Associates players of the game. We're going to Tate McGilvray, obviously, but what he did on the mound was very, very good. We had 9 Ks on the evening, goes 6 and a third, and gets the win. And offensively, I mean, you got to go with a number of guys. If it's Luke Livingston, he had himself a day. Brian Tate hit the ball really well. There's a number of guys. We'll go with. We're going to go with Tanner Morgan. He got everything started. It was that base clearing triple that got things started. I know it was the one hit, but it really did. It opened things up as a 5-0 game, which would have won the or a 5-0 or 5-run inning, which would have won the game either way with what Tate McGilvray did on the mound. So our players of the game, Tate McGilvray and Tanner Morgan. Again, we'll be back in just a few minutes with the nightcap game, Woods Cross and Lehigh. And we'll be back tomorrow at 11 o'clock for Jordan versus Salem Hills. For Jaron Mulford and for Addison Grayson, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us and for watching KSL Sports Rewind's coverage of the 2023 5A State Championship Baseball Tournament on your online home for state championships, KSLSports.com.